Hey there, Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome, thanks for joining me. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how you can solo over something if you it's not a blues, right? Because a lot of times we talk about soloing and using the minor pentatonic or the major pentatonic, but we're talking about playing over a blues. So what if it's not a blues? And furthermore, what if you don't know what key it's in? Okay, what if you're looking at some chords in front of you, but you either don't know enough theory behind like how to put that together into a key so you can come up with a single scale that would work the whole time, or perhaps you're looking at some chords realizing there's no way these are all in the same key. What am I going to do? What you're going to do is what I call playing follow the chord. Okay, and playing follow the chord is fairly straightforward, believe it or not. Over any major chord, you're going to use the major pentatonic scale that goes with that chord. Now, there's a little bit of theory behind this. And what I can tell you is that, to make this very, very brief, of the three major modes, the Ionian, the Lydian, and the Mixolydian, the difference between them is the fourth and the seventh. The fourth and the seventh are left out of the major pentatonic scale. So you can't possibly hit a wrong note. The potentially offending notes are left out. Over any minor chord, you can play the corresponding minor pentatonic scale. Okay, and again, not to get too theory heavy, but the potentially offending notes are the 2 and the 6. You'll notice there is no 2 and no 6 in the minor pentatonic scale. That's why that works. Pretty cool. If you're a theory buff, you're going to dig that. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. It's not necessary. So what I do is stuff like, let's say I have an A chord, right? And then you could play the major pentatonic however you want. As it turns out, box 2, and you can use the blues scale as much or as little as you want. It turns out box 2 kind of goes with that. It works well. If I'm playing a minor, right, say an F sharp minor, then box 1 goes well. Okay, if I was playing a root on the 5th string major chord, technically speaking, box 5 would go. But what I tend to do is I tend to slide up. Okay, so I'll take that D, and I'll basically switch my first finger and my third. Kind of that, Hendrixy move, right? Once I've done that, I am now playing in box 1. So I basically do a little slide out of box 1, or out of box 5, and now I'm in box 1. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. If you don't know the boxes well enough, that's okay. If you can't see that little thing that I just did, then just say I'm good with box 5. After a while, you'll get bored with box 5 and you'll realize that you can slide it up into box 1 and 2 and 3 and you can do whatever you want. I don't want to get too carried away. I just want to get you the basics, right? Now, if I had a minor, let's say I wanted to play my F sharp minor up here. Again, root on the 5th string. It could be minor or minor 7th, and it's going to be box 4. To get that minor pentatonic scale. Okay, so root on the 6th string major is box 2. Root on the 6th string minor, box 1. Root on the 5th string major, box 5, which you can slide into box 1 if you want, and root on the 5th string minor, box 4. So I could play something like A, F sharp minor, maybe I go down to an F major, to an E, A, F sharp minor, F, and then E. Of course, little double stops always work well. F sharp minor, F, let's take that one, E, and I can literally follow the chords around all day long. So any chord progression at all, you can do this. Okay, I've played thousands and thousands and thousands of songs in my life, and I have yet to find a song that has a minor 7 flat 5 in it, which would be the only thing that you kind of couldn't handle with this methodology. And if you did come across something with a minor 7 flat 5 in it, you're probably going to know what's going on. So it's probably got some other weird stuff going on. But there's a lot you're going to be able to handle. Probably 95 to 98% of all the chord progressions on the planet you can handle this way. So if you've got a really good handle on, major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, being able to separate them, being able to execute them all over the neck, you're in totally good shape. This is just a really, really fun way. I call it little wing style playing only because it kind of uses all this same, all that stuff comes from these same ideas. He's playing a G major chord, so plays that, A minor, E, box 4, B minor, right? So it's all based off of that same kind of idea, and it's not an uncommon thing to do. I actually have a little course called the Little Wing Lesson that digs into all this stuff, has a bunch of licks in it and stuff. Stevie Ray Vaughan obviously did it a lot. Jimi Hendrix obviously did it a lot. The Weight by the band, Robbie Robertson. I've heard Buddy Guy play this way. Like, it's not an uncommon thing to do. John Mayer, the list goes on and on and on and on. But since the first tune I ever learned that kind of played like that was Little Wing, I call it Little Wing style playing sometimes. But really, it's chord chasing. You're just playing along. That's if you're playing by yourself. If you're playing with a band, obviously, you can use the same approach. You're just following every single chord. I use it over things like Dock of the Bay because the chords all change. Right? And I'll play stuff like that because it's every single chord is going to require a new something completely different because it's a bunch of dominant seventh chords in a row. They can't possibly all be in the same key. All right, so I hope this makes sense, give you something to play with a little bit. As always, if you have guitar playing friends that you think would dig it, I hope you'll share it with them. And as always, I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed. I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.